Roger Taylor really made a mark in tennis history with an impressive winning streak. He reached the quarterfinals at the U.S. National Championships in '64 and the French Open in '73. But after all those highs, his life took a turn for the worse. In this video, we're diving into what happened, so keep on watching until the end. His journey to tennis fame was anything but typical. With his movie star looks and tennis's rising popularity, he became part of a group called the Handsome Eight. He grew up playing in Weston Park in Sheffield. He only had one lesson as a kid, no formal coaching. His mom picked up tennis at 33 and got good enough to play with him. He once shared, "She had a knack for understanding tennis and taught me tactics. My dad was a foreman at the main steelworks in Sheffield, and we lived in a terraced house like something out of Coronation Street with no indoor toilet. Every park in Sheffield had a little tennis club, and there were competitions. Weston Park was magical with its bowling green, tennis courts, and Sunday concerts at the bandstand. I'd hit balls against the wall on Mushroom Lane. My dad, a big Sheffield United fan, took me to games, but I loved tennis. My parents got me a Slazenger racket with nylon strings tough enough to catch a shark." Such vivid memories. After reaching the finals of the National Junior Championships at 16, the Lawn Tennis Association took notice. As it turns out, legendary commentator Dan Maskell was head coach, and they had an Australian named George Worthington who took an interest in him. He told him to move to London if he was serious about tennis. So at 18, he moved into the YMCA in Wimbledon and got a job at Fred Perry Sportswear in Soho. Since tennis was all amateur, he earned money as a packer and delivery boy. For 3 years, he lived at the YMCA and commuted to Soho, playing tournaments and practicing in Wimbledon Park and Fulham Park. You can tell he was dedicated. Am I right? He quickly improved and joined the budding professional tennis circuit. By the time the Open era began in 1968, which allowed both amateurs and professionals to compete together, he was already among the top 20 players in the world. In 1970, he made a big splash by defeating the defending champion, the legendary Rod Laver, in the 4th round of Wimbledon. How cool is that? So what still bothers him to this day? We'll get to that in just a bit. But before we dive into that, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button to stay updated on all our latest videos. According to Roger, here's where it all went wrong. In 1973, at 31, he was still hopeful of winning the Wimbledon title when a major controversy erupted. Nikola Pilic was banned from playing Wimbledon because he skipped a Davis Cup match for Yugoslavia. The newly formed Association of Tennis Professionals, ATP, wanted to stand up against these old-fashioned rules, and the strike gained widespread support. Roger was caught in the middle of a national news story. It was a tough decision and a stressful time. The night before the tournament, a court ruling favored Wimbledon. I was getting calls from all over the world, some telling me to join the boycott, others saying to play. It was exhausting, and I could hardly sleep. I was playing the best tennis of my life. I was the British #1, and our only hope in the men's singles. There were meetings, and I was told I'd never play tennis again if I didn't join the boycott. My dad, a trade unionist, didn't tell me what to do, but advised me to think carefully. My gut told me to play, and I decided to on the morning the tournament started. It was big news, but I tried to focus on my game. Many players boycotted, but there were also many who didn't, like a young Bjorn Borg, Jimmy Connors, and top seed Ilie Nastase. He made it through the early rounds of Wimbledon, and then faced a young 17-year-old Bjorn Borg in a tough 5-set quarterfinal match. Winning that set up a semifinal against the Czech #2 seed, Jan Kodes. The winner of their match was expected to beat Soviet Alex Metriveli in the final. Life is about destiny, and it wasn't meant to be, Taylor reflects. We got to 5 in the 5th set when it started to rain. I thought the match was over for the night, so I got undressed in the locker room. Back then, we didn't have people around to advise us. Jan had people with him who probably kept him sharp. Then we were told we were going back out. It was after 7 p.m., the center court was gloomy and empty, and I lost my mental edge. Jan played well, won 2 games, and that was it. It was over. This was Taylor's 3rd and last Wimbledon semifinal. The fallout from the boycott continued, and he was among those fined by the ATP for not joining it. Now, at 82, Taylor can only look back on that summer of backstage drama, sleepless nights, and a lost opportunity. He defied the boycott organized by the new player union and made it to the semifinals. He got to 5 in the deciding set against Jan Kotis, the eventual champion, when a rain delay hit, costing him a shot at the final, where he would have been the favorite. By then, the political turmoil had settled, but it had taken its toll. How sad is that? Taylor still lives in Wimbledon. A natural left-hander, he taught himself to serve right-handed due to a shoulder problem and enjoyed success in senior competitions. He went on to coach, captained Great Britain's Davis Cup team, and ran a tennis holiday business. 50 summers later, he takes his usual seat on center court as a member of the All England Club, the man who almost bridged the gap between Fred Perry and Andy Murray as a British Wimbledon champion. He had once reached a career-high ATP World Singles ranking of number 11, although he was ranked number 8 in 1970 before the ATP rankings even began. He played his first singles tournament at the South of France Championships in 1958 and won his first singles title in 1959 at the Lyon-Solent Open. Taylor was the only British member of the Handsome Eight, signed by Lamar Hunt for the World Championship Tennis Tour in 1968. He won over many fans during his 1973 Wimbledon quarterfinal match against the 17-year-old Bjorn Borg. After being declared the match winner by the umpire on a disputed match-point serve, Taylor offered to replay the point. The linesman, questioned by the umpire, changed his call to out, and the point was replayed as a let. Taylor went on to win the match, but lost to eventual champion Jan Kotis in the semifinals. Such a heroic move, don't you think? He won his final singles title at the Fairfield Open indoors in March 1975 and played his last singles tournament at the Caribbean Championships in 1982, retiring from professional tennis in 1983. After retiring, he ran tennis holidays and served as Great Britain's Davis Cup captain from 2000 to 2004. Taylor also captained the British Ladies Whiteman Cup team, leading them to their last victory in 1978. He was awarded an MBE in the 1977 Silver Jubilee and Birthday Honors. In 2012, he won the 70-plus title at Woking's Veterans Open Tournament. In 2019, he teamed up with Australia's Gordon Waygood to win the men's 75 doubles title at the British Open Seniors Clay Court Championships. He officially retired from professional play in 1980, but stayed close to the sport. He was Great Britain's Davis Cup captain from February 2000 until January 2004, and led the British Ladies Whiteman Cup team to their last victory in 1978. He was awarded an MBE in the 1977 Silver Jubilee Birthday Honors. Last we checked, he's still playing on the ITF Seniors Tour and recently won the British over 75's clay court doubles title. After the unveiling of a plaque, he even joined a coaching session on the court with young players, sharing his lifetime of experience in the sport. So that's it on Roger Taylor. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to check out our latest one on Jimmy Connors. I'm sure you'll like it.